Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's class. We will be doing revision on coordinate geometry. This is a topic from Maths 2 and it's a very interesting topic. Please make sure that you attentively listen to all the topics, all the points that we cover, because in between there will be two quizzes. Okay, and I assure you all are really going to enjoy today's class. So to start with, what all topics are there in this lesson, coordinate geometry? The topics include what is axis, what is origin, what is a quadrant, what are lines parallel to x-axis, what are the coordinates of a given point, what is a line parallel to y-axis, how to plot points, and how to write equation of a line. First, we start with revising what is axis. Okay, so there are two axes. The horizontal, this one, the horizontal one is called as the x-axis. The vertical one is called as the y-axis, right? And there is a point where these two axes meet. This point is called as origin, right? Now, some things to check. On the right hand side, the x-axis has positive values. On the left hand side, it has negative values. On the upper end of the y-axis, the points are positive. On the lower end, the points are negative. Okay. And this gives a partition to the entire coordinate plane. It gets partitioned into four parts and we name them as quadrant. So each section is called as quadrant. As there are four quadrants, they are numbered starting from this point in anti-clockwise direction. So this is first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and that's the fourth quadrant. Now something to remember here, that when we say coordinates of a point, when we say coordinates of a point, it means it has x comma y. That is, it will have one x value, it will have a y value. All right. So for the first quadrant, the x and y both will have positive values. Okay. So for the first quadrant, both the signs will be positive. For the second quadrant, the x value will be negative. Check, the x values are negative and the y value will be positive. So a negative and a positive. For the third quadrant, the x value is negative and y is also negative. Both the negatives means it's a third quadrant. Then for the fourth quadrant, the x is positive and y is negative. So if you are given a point, let's say 2 comma negative 3, so just looking at the signs, you can identify which quadrant it is. Like here you could see the first sign is positive, the next sign is negative. So this becomes positive and negative. This is the fourth quadrant. All right, that's how we find the quadrants for a given point. Okay, now what are the coordinates of a point? Given a point, we have to identify the coordinates. Okay, so let's say if we are asked what are the coordinates of point P, so we have to mention the x values and the y values. All right, so the x value is the point where, if we bring down this point on the x-axis, it hits the x-axis at 2. So the x value is 2 and the y value is 3. That's how we give the coordinates of a point. All right. Let's say there is a point over here. Let's say the name is B. Okay. So from this point, always start with hitting the x-axis. So moving towards the x-axis, the point is 1 and then tell the y coordinate. So moving towards the y-axis, you could see it is negative 2. So what are the coordinates of point B? 1 comma minus 2. Okay, students. this is something very important. Why? Because we will be doing a quiz right now in some time on how to identify the coordinates of a given point. Okay, so let me quickly ask you one question. Let's say this is the point and its name is point D. What are the coordinates of this point? Anybody? Just raise your hand and I'll give you access. Okay, let's see if I see Ikra. Ikra, go ahead and try.
-3 or -2.
Fantastic. -3 comma -2. Those are the coordinates of the point D. Well done. Okay. Now let's identify the coordinates of the point here. Anybody wants to try? Go ahead. Sahil. Okay, Shakib. What are the coordinates of the point E?
E.
Yes, E.
1.
Okay, nice try. Always start with the x coordinate. So what is the x coordinate here?
2, 2.
Yes. And
2
what is
is
the
it?
y?
1.
Yes. So those are the coordinates. 2 comma 1 is the coordinate for point E. Okay. Anybody else? Try next one. What are the coordinates of point F? Yes, Asif.
Ma'am, F na?
Yes, F.
3.
Are you sure? Check.
Yes, ma'am.
So always start with the x coordinate first. First x coordinate and then y coordinate. Yes, Asif. What is the x coordinate?
3 minus 3.
Yes. So first we say it's -3 and then you give the y coordinate. What is the y coordinate?
3.
Yes. So the coordinates are -3 and 3. Okay. Let's check if anybody could try next one. Nandini, what are the coordinates of point G?
-4 and 2.
Fantastic. Fantastic. We start with the x-axis first. So it's -4 and then the y-axis. So -2. The coordinates are -4 and -2. Well done. Let's check if anybody else could try the last one. Radhika,
Yes, ma'am.
try last one. What are the coordinates of point C?
-1.
Could you repeat that, please? Yeah, Radhika, could you repeat that, please?
Yes, ma'am. 3 and -1.
Fantastic. 3 comma -1. That is the coordinate of point T. Fantastic, everyone. So let's do a quick recap. This is something you need to remember. The y coordinate of every point on the x-axis is 0. Okay, let us look at this thing. Any point on the x-axis. Okay, let's say if I take a point this 2. Now you have told this x and y for all the random points which are in the quadrants. Okay, now tell me what will be the coordinate of this 2. It lies on the y-axis. Always start with x first and then y. So here, since this point is on the y-axis, its x is 0, okay, and y will be 2, okay. Let's say I take another point on the y-axis here, -3. So first x and then y. X is 0 because this point is on the y-axis. And what is the y coordinate? -3. Okay, so you understand any point on the y-axis will always have the x to be 0. Okay, any point, every point on the y-axis, okay, on the y-axis, the x coordinate will be 0. Okay, it will be of the form x comma y. All right, and any point or every point on the x-axis, let us look at x-axis. So let's say, what is the coordinate of this point? Okay, let's say point x. So what are the coordinates of this point? Again, we have to write it in x comma y format. X is 1 here, and what is y? Y is 0. Since it is lying on the x-axis, the y will be 0. Let's say what are the coordinates of this point? So it will be x comma y format. X is 4, straight away 4, and what is y? It's 0. All right. So for any point which is lying on the x-axis, the y coordinate will be 0. Okay. And of course, the coordinates of origin is 0, comma 0. This point, the center, is the origin and the coordinate is 0, comma 0. All right, everyone. So let's quickly do a quiz. And please remember something very important. Whenever you are trying out the choices, always give the x value first and then the y value. Okay. Now in the chat box, I will be sharing a link. So everybody look at the okay, please check the chat box. Please check the meeting chat link. There's a link shared in the chat box. Please click on that and join the quiz. Okay, you need to click on it. And once you click, it will ask for your name. Let me show what it would. So once you hit the link, it will ask for your name. Please enter your name, and yeah, it will ask for your name. Enter your name and click on start. You could see waiting for players to join. Come on, everyone. And I see 38 of you have joined. Come on, others, go ahead and join fast. The link is in the chat box. Just click on the link and name yourself. Okay, let's start with the first question. Others, you can keep trying. You can just try out clicking on the link. Okay, so that's the first question. You could see the question on the same link. Okay, go ahead and try, everyone. That's the question. What is the coordinates of point A? You have to tell the coordinate of point A. Let's see how many of you have answered it. Already 35 of you have answered. Okay, and let's look at how many of you gave it correct. Okay, 25 of you have got it right. Others, please don't give random answers. Yes, please don't give random answers. Check. It was point A. So point A is on the y-axis. So x has to be 0, y will be 6. Correct? Let's look at the next question. There, what are the coordinates of point B? What are the coordinates of point B? You could see 4 options. Be very careful while selecting the options. Okay. What are the coordinates of point B? Let's see how many of you have completed. 45 of you have already answered it. And of course, there's a timer running. So make sure that you answer it as soon as possible. Okay. Here, 36 of you have got it right. Others, it seems you are still trying to give random answers. Okay, just check what are the coordinates of point B. Always start with hitting the x-axis. So check it's -4 first, -4, and then 3. That was the correct answer. Okay, let's look at next one. For those who still want to join and have not joined, please check the chat box. There is a link in the chat box. Click on the link and you will be here trying out the quiz. Let's look at the next question. What are the coordinates of point D? What are the coordinates of point D? Yes, first the x coordinate and then the y coordinate. 45 of you have already answered. Others, be quick. Time up. And let's check the leaderboard. Ikra, Nandini, Soham, Sunny, Madhura, Prince, Kushi, well done. 26 of you gave it right. Others are still giving random answers. Please don't do that. Check here the coordinates of point D. We start with looking for the x coordinate first. So here the x coordinate is -6 and then the y coordinate is -6. So -6 here first and then -6 here. So both the coordinates were -6 and -6. Okay, let's look at next question. Try what is the coordinate of point E? What are the coordinates of point E? Start with the x coordinate and then the y coordinate. Start with the x coordinate and then the y coordinate. What are the coordinates of point E? Okay, time's up. Let's see. 51 participants completed. Good. Okay, still. So the correct answer to this was 8, -9. Okay, 8, -9. So if we look at this picture once again, what are the coordinates of point E? The x-axis has the point 8 and the y-axis, this one, it's -9. Okay. Yeah, it's 8 on the x-axis and -9 on the y-axis. All right, let's look at next one. There, that's the next question. What is the coordinate of the point C? What is the coordinate of the point C? Come on, everyone. I see there are 245 participants, out of which only 80 participants seem to be trying out the quiz. What is the coordinate of point C? It's lying on the x-axis. Okay, Ikra, Nandini, Soham, Sunny, Madhura, Avinash, they have already given it right. Okay. All right, try next one. Which point? Which point has the coordinates 0, -8? 8, -8, 0. Sorry, -8, 0. Please try. Which point has the coordinates -8, 0? -8, 0. Okay, I don't understand why it is not showing up the score now, but let's proceed. Let's continue further with next question. Okay, that's the next question. Which point has the coordinate 0, 6? 0, 6. Which point has the coordinates 0, 6? Now, for those who are there on the quiz, you will be able to see the question easily. Here, it's not loading though. Okay, yes, now the scores were visible. So for this question, which point has the coordinates 0, 6? So 0 on the x-axis and y-axis has the 6. So the correct answer was A to this one. A. The point A has the coordinates 0, 6. Okay, let us look at next one. Which point has the coordinates -4, 3? Which point has the coordinates -4, 3? So x-axis -3, sorry, x-axis -4 and y-axis 3. X-axis -4 and y-axis 3. Okay, so check here, -4 and 3. It's the point B. B was supposed to be the right answer. Let's look at next question. Which point has the coordinates -6, -6? Which point has the coordinates -6, -6? That means x is -6 and y is also -6. Timer is still running. Okay, time's up. So I'll tell the answer. Which point has the coordinates -6 and -6? It's the point D. It's the point D. Yeah, check everyone. X is -6 and y is -6. It's point D. Let's look at next question, the last one. Which point has the coordinates 8, -9? Which point has the coordinates 8, -9? Which point has the coordinates 8, -9? That means x is 8 and y is -9. And it shows time up on the quiz. So here I'll tell the answer. 8, -9. So x is 8. We start at x-axis. This is 8. And then -9. So moving down 9 units. This is -9 over here. So that's point E. The answer was point E. Okay, and that's it. Let's see if the scores are visible. First, third is Nandini, second is Ikra, and first is Soham. And let's look at the people who scored 100%. Prince, Nandini, Ikra, Raj, Soham, Avinash, Aparna, Radhika, Vrunda, and Khushi. These are the top 10 performers. Well done, all of you. Now let's continue with the next topic, which is identifying the quadrants. Okay, we look at the next topic, which is identifying the quadrants. All right, so if we are given a point and we are asked to find out which quadrant it is, how do we do that? Okay, so it's very simple. You try to just check the signs. Okay, if both the signs are positive, then that is quadrant 1. If both the signs are negative, then that is quadrant 3. If first is positive, second is negative, it's quadrant 4. If first is negative, second is positive, it's quadrant second. Okay, if x is 0 and there is some y, any number in y, then that is a point on y axis. Then that is a point on y axis. If if the point is of the form x comma 0, that is there is some number for x and there is a 0 in the y, then it is a point which lies on the x axis. Okay, everyone, let's look at few questions. In which quadrant or on which axis are the points given below? So 5 and 7, even though you see there is a graphing paper over here, but there is no use, there is no need to use it. You could just look at the signs and identify. So the first two signs are positive, that means it is the first quadrant. So this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and fourth one. Okay, here the x and y both are positive. For third quadrant, both are negative. For second one, the x is negative, y is positive. For second one, and for fourth one, x is positive and y is negative. All right. So if you look at which quadrant does this B point lie? So first sign is negative, second is positive. That means it is the second quadrant. So answer to this is second quadrant. For this, it is first quadrant. Check next one. It says C is a point, C comma negative 4. So C is positive, 4 is positive, and Y 7 is negative. So positive and negative. First positive and then negative. Which quadrant? It's the fourth quadrant. Okay, so it's the fourth quadrant for C. Next, point D has both the signs to be negative. So negative and negative, that means which quadrant? It's quadrant number 3. Right, students? It's quadrant number 3. I hope you are able to understand. Within seconds, you can just look at the signs and identify which quadrant it is. You don't have to graph it. You don't have to graph it. It says in which quadrant or which axis these points lie. So both the signs are negative. That means it's quadrant number 3. Next, look at this point, x and y. So y is 0. So forget about y. Since x value is given, it means it is a point on x axis. Okay, this is a point on x axis. Next is q, point q with the coordinates 0, 8. So here x is 0 and y is 8. Forget about the one which is 0. We are given y value. That means this point lies on y axis. So whichever point is given, whichever coordinate is given, the point lies on that axis. Okay, I hope this is clear. Anybody has any doubts here? Okay, maybe we could do the second round. So here I'll just call out names and you could try. Yes, Kushi, which is the quadrant for first problem, 5, 3? Yes, Shubhangi?
First quadrant.
Very good. Both the signs are positive, so it's the first quadrant. right? Maybe I'll quickly draw it out here. This is both positive signs, both negative signs. This is quadrant 3. Negative and positive is quadrant 2. Positive and negative, that's quadrant 4. Okay, let's check. Viresh, try next. Second one, which quadrant? Viresh, which quadrant is it?
Miss, fourth.
Okay, that's close. That's close. See, first is negative, next is positive. Negative and positive. What is the number? Check. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. So negative and positive is quadrant 3. No worries, we are learning. Fine. Next one. Lakshmi, please try. Third one. Third one.
Fourth
Very
quadrant, ma'am.
Very good. So positive and negative, that makes it fourth quadrant. Well done. Let's check who tries next one. Anurag, try fourth one.
First coordinate.
Okay, that's close. That's close, Anurag. Nice try. Next, Suhani, try fourth one. X is given, Y is given, X is 0, Y is 4.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, no worries. Please be very attentive here. The question is, in which quadrant does the fourth point lie? In which quadrant does the fourth point lie? Okay, I'll try to give chance to those who have not tried. Drupad, please try. Drupad, which quadrant or which axis?
Teacher, on y-axis.
Fantastic. Since x is 0, forget about x. The point lies on the y-axis. So for fourth one, it is on y-axis. Okay. Next, Shreya, try next. Fifth one. Which axis or which quadrant or which axis?
Ma'am, it's on x-axis.
Fantastic. Since y is 0, the point here is on x-axis. Okay, Sana, try next.
Ma'am, third congruent.
Third quadrant. Nice try. Very close. Pooja, try next. Try sixth one.
Miss, third, second quadrant.
Okay, that's second quadrant. Good. See, the x is negative, y is positive. So negative and positive, that is second quadrant. Very good. Let's look at the next one. Pooja, try next one. Let's see if you get it right this time.
Miss, first quadrant.
Very good. Since both the signs are positive, that is first quadrant. Okay. I see the same names. Let's see, Garvesh. Garvesh, try. Eighth one. Okay, Rahul.
Second quadrant.
Go ahead, Garvesh. Eighth one.
Second quadrant.
Okay. Negative and a positive, that is second quadrant. Very good, Garvesh. Let's look at the next one. Rahul, try next. Ninth one.
Fourth quadrant.
Okay, that's close. That's close. Since it's a 0, be very careful when there's a 0.
Miss,
Rahul, do you want to try it
Y-axis.
once again?
Y-axis.
Very good. That's the y-axis. On y-axis, since x coordinate is 0, y is some value, that means the point lies on y-axis. So students, be very careful when you are checking out the signs. It looks very easy to identify the signs, but also look if there is a 0 in it. Okay, so positive and negative, last one I will answer. This is quadrant 4. Okay, students, Now, with that, let us try out a quiz. And I want new students to challenge the earlier ones. Okay. So the top 3 people from the earlier quiz, let's see if they are able to maintain their rank now. Okay. I will be sharing another quiz link really quick. Okay, and here I have the link. I am sharing it in the chat box. Please make sure you are using the second link. Okay, so that's the second link. Please click on the link. It will ask you for a name. Enter your name and you will be there on the dashboard. Okay, I see people joining. I'll wait for another 30 seconds and then start the quiz. 56 of you have joined. Okay, another 10 seconds and then we will start. Okay, let's start. That's the first question. In which quadrant can we find the point 2, 3? And check there is a timer running. So you will have only 22 seconds to answer the question. Okay, you'll have only 22 seconds. By default, you will be seeing your result. Fine. So another 5 seconds. In which quadrant can we find the point 2, 3? Make sure that you have the diagram in front of you, which quadrant has which signs. By this time you should have memorized it. Okay, but still the correct answer to this is first quadrant. And yes, I see 47 of you answering it correct. Very good. Check next question. In which quadrant can we find the point -1 and -7? I see people answering it really fast. Okay, another 8 seconds. In which quadrant can we find the point -7, -1 and -7? The correct answer to this is quadrant 3, isn't it? Because in the third quadrant, both the signs are negative. Well done. Shahid, Sakina. Okay. I think there is some error in this. Okay. Because the correct answer is quadrant 3, and I see 51 of you have given the answer right. Okay, so no worries. Yes, you all were correct. It's third quadrant. Let's move on to next question. The question says point -3, 5 lies in which quadrant? Point -3, 5 lies in which quadrant? And by now 70 of you have already answered it. I see there is a lag between the screen that you all are able to see and my screen. Well done, and time up. So a negative first and then positive. A negative first and then positive. That's the second quadrant. Very well done. I see 47 of you have given the answer correct. It's second quadrant. Okay, negative first and then positive. It's second quadrant. Be ready. Next question is 0, 11 lies on which axis or which quadrant? Okay, let's look at the choices. In third quadrant, on the negative y-axis, on the positive x-axis, on the fourth quadrant. So where does this point lie? Okay, you have another 5 seconds. And time's up. Since it's x is 0, y is some value given, so the answer is on y-axis. And since y is negative, the correct answer to this was negative y-axis. Okay, well done. Many of you, I see Shake Bikra, Shubhangi getting right answers. Well done, students. Let's look at the next question. Sign of the abscissa and ordinate of a point in the fourth quadrant are. Now here I'll tell you, abscissa means the x coordinate and ordinate means the y. Okay, abscissa is x and ordinate is y. So the question is, sign of x and y of a point in the fourth quadrant are. They are asking, what are the signs of x and y in the fourth quadrant? Now try. Okay, I see nobody tried it. Abscissa is the x-axis and ordinate is the y-axis. So the signs are negative and negative. Okay, it's negative and negative. Fourth quadrant has both the signs negative. All right, let's move on to next one. Coordinate of origin is. This is the easiest question, isn't it, students? I know everybody is going to get it right. What are the coordinates of origin? Another 15 seconds. Okay, 78 of you have answered. Another 2 seconds. Okay, the coordinate of origin is 0, 0. Correct? It's 0, 0. Let's look at the next question. In second quadrant, ordinate means the y-axis. So in the second quadrant, what is the sign of ordinate? In the second quadrant, what is the sign of y? In the second quadrant, what is the sign of y? Come on, 8 more seconds. In the second quadrant, what is the sign of y? Sign of y-axis. Time up. The sign of y-axis is positive. Okay, in the second quadrant, it is negative and positive. Ordinate means y. That means it is positive. So the correct answer to this was positive. Okay, well done. 29 of you have got it right. See, students, in case if you are not able to understand the question, you can wait for a few seconds. Okay, I am giving you hints parallelly and then you can try. Which point lies in the fourth quadrant? I see there is a wrong image here, I guess. Yes, there's a wrong image here. I'm sorry about that. Maybe we could switch this question. Okay, let's switch. Let's look at the next question. Name the quadrant in which the point -5, -4 lies. So which quadrant? What is the quadrant where this point will lie? It's super easy again, isn't it? Both signs are negative. Where will the point be? Which quadrant? Okay, I see 74 of you have answered it. Both the signs are negative. Which quadrant? Okay, time's up. And let's see the score. Since both are negative, it's the third quadrant, right everyone? It's the third quadrant. I see still people are getting it wrong. Please don't give random answers. Now you could see the image on page 89 of your textbook. If you have textbooks with you, you can take a look at page 89. You could see the signs of the coordinates and then try. Okay, please don't give random answers. Let's look at next question. If y coordinate of a point is 0, then where will that point lie? If the y is 0, that means x is any number. If x is any number, where will this point lie? If y coordinate of a point is 0, then the point always lies where? Where? First quadrant, second quadrant, x-axis or y-axis? Where will it lie? Time's up. So since the y coordinate is 0, that means a random value for x. That means the point will lie on the x-axis. Okay, students, well done. I see 47 of you getting it right. Good. Let's look at next one. Yes, and that was the last question. That was the last question. Okay, here we have Shubhangi, Soham, and Ikra. Well done, Shubhangi has challenged the first three participants. Yes, she's a new name. And Ikra and Soham, well done on maintaining your rank. Well done on that. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed both the quizzes. Yes, and I hope you have understood very well the two topics that we have revised today. The first one being how to check the coordinates of a point, and the second one was how to identify which coordinate it is, which quadrant it is. Okay, still we have some time. Maybe I'll quickly show some stuff on the internet. Yes, this is a site which is called as Desmos. Okay, Desmos graphing calculator. And how do you reach there? So check, this is any, you can open any web browser and Google in Desmos. Okay, so it will show Desmos graphing. This is the icon. You can click over here, Desmos. That's the page. Okay, www.desmos.com. And once you click there, oh, yes, this is the site, graphing calculator, because we are trying to graph, we are plotting it on graphs. So this is the graphing calculator. You can have some fun around this. You can play around, try different choices. Like if I want to plot a point 3 comma -2, -2, you could enter the values like this over here, and then you could see parallelly here the point getting plotted. Yes, and you could see the coordinates as well. 3 comma -2. Maybe I'll just try to zoom in a bit so that you could get a nice view. Check. And yeah, maybe you can label it also. So you can label it with letter A. Whenever we are plotting a point, we name it. Okay, so plotting a point first and then labeling it like that with capital letters. Okay, we will be doing the plotting the points in the next class. That is, we will doing it tomorrow. Okay, and what else? You could try checking both negative values, -1 and -11, let's say. Check where is that point. So you could just minimize from here and see the point is right here. Okay, you can just move around. You can just drag and move. Check this point. Clicking on it, it will give you the coordinates. -1 comma -11, like that. Okay, again we can label it. Let's say capital B. That's how you label it. Okay, now you would say, okay, these are the quadrants. Let's see a point on the axis. Okay, so use brackets. Okay, you have to use these brackets, and then let's check where is this point 0 comma, let's use a smaller number, let's say 5. So check x is 0, y is any random number. Let's, here we are using 5. Let's label it as C. Check here, you could see this is point C. And if you click on it, you can see the coordinates. It's not working for me now. Some internet connection error might be. Okay, but when you click on it, it will show the coordinates, right? And now I'm going to check where is the origin. So check 0, 0. Does it plot? Yes, you could see the different colors. This is 0, 0. That's the origin. Okay. All right, everyone. So this is a graphing tool called Desmos, where you could just try plotting the points, labeling them, and checking the quadrants, actually how and where they are plotted. Okay. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining, everyone. And I hope you really enjoyed today's class. Okay, it won't work.